The sun rises over the vast plains, casting long shadows as the earth trembles with the pounding of massive hooves. In the distance, a herd of giant horned rhinoceroses emerges from the mist, their menacing horns glistening in the early light. For early humans today may be the day they face a force of nature that no stone tool can stop. How would they survive against such a primal threat? And who would emerge victorious in the battle for survival? The air is thick with tension as the small group of early humans, Homo erectus, carefully stalk the edge of the savannah. Their eyes are sharp, scanning the horizon for any signs of movement. They are experienced hunters, well-versed in the ways of the land. The group, a tight-knit family unit, moves with deliberate stealth, the soft rustle of tall grasses underfoot, the only sound accompanying their silent progression. Suddenly, the earth vibrates beneath them. The ground shakes with a thunderous sound. Something large, something terrifying is approaching. The youngest, a child barely 10 summers old, looks up at the adults, a mixture of curiosity and fear in their wide eyes. The adults exchange quick, silent glances, their faces set in grim determination. They know the moment has arrived. From behind a thick grove of trees, the first of the beasts emerges. A giant horned rhinoceros, its body mass heavy and imposing, steps onto the open plain. Its large, curved horns gleam as it moves, brushing aside the foliage in its path. It's a creature of power, built for survival in a harsh world. Its massive frame blocks the sunlight for a moment, casting a shadow over the group below. There is no time to waste. The leader, a seasoned hunter, gestures to the group. They scatter into the brush, using the trees for cover, moving with the precision of a well-practiced team. The rhinoceros, unaware of the imminent danger, continues to graze on the sparse grasses, oblivious to the humans creeping ever closer. The plan is simple but dangerous. A group of hunters will drive the giant creature toward a cliffside where the terrain can be used to their advantage. But there is a problem. The rhinoceros is not alone. Behind it, another massive beast emerges, its horns slightly larger, its eyes darker with a primal hunger. The hunters adjust quickly. With a sharp signal, one member climbs a tree, peering down to guide the group from above. They must not only contend with the rhinoceroses, but also with the threat of becoming prey themselves. The other members crouch low, crouching behind large boulders and thick grasses, prepared to make their move at the right moment. In the distance, the sound of a rival tribe's war drums begins to echo across the plain. The humans exchange looks. Tension builds. Two threats, two deadly forces, the giant rhinoceroses and the approaching tribe. Survival has never seemed so uncertain. The first attack comes without warning. A hunter armed with a stone-tipped spear lunges toward the rhinoceros. The spear strikes the beast's thick hide but bounces off. The rhinoceros lets out a deafening roar, turning its massive head toward the hunter. The ground shakes as it charges the horn, aimed directly at the intruder. A quick move saves the hunter, but the tension is palpable. The battle for survival is on, and every move will count. The tribe moves quickly, their every step calculated. One of the women, the healer of the group, grips a bundle of sharp-edged stones. She eyes the approaching rhinoceros and the chaos that ensues. The thundering hooves grow louder, reverberating in her chest. She doesn't flinch. Instead, she quickly applies the same survival instincts she's honed over years of gathering herbs, preparing potions, and healing wounds. The healer signals to a younger member of the group who is crouched behind a large rock. He nods, understanding the weight of her message. With swift efficiency, he pulls a large, thick vine from a nearby tree and ties it to a heavy branch. It's a trap They must immobilize the creature before the tribe can be overwhelmed. As the rhinoceros charges toward them, the tension is almost unbearable. The lead hunter signals to his team. He moves swiftly, using his environment to his advantage, ducking behind large boulders and trees. The rhinoceros is distracted for a moment as it charges toward another hunter, and this is when the trap is sprung. The young hunter pulls the vine tight, causing the branch to snap into place. The rhinoceros is momentarily caught stumbling as the vine tightens around its legs. Its heavy body crashes to the ground, sending dust and dirt into the air. The hunters move quickly, surrounding the creature, their faces filled with a mix of relief and fear. But this victory is fleeting. The second rhinoceros, larger and more aggressive, has noticed the movement. It charges its eyes, locked on the group. The first rhinoceros, still trapped, struggles violently against its bonds, its horn thrashing in all directions. The ground beneath them shakes with the force of the massive creature's rage. The hunters, now with no time to plan, scatter in all directions. The battle is no longer about strategy, it's about pure survival. The healer, realizing the stakes, runs to the side to retrieve a bundle of dried herbs. She knows they may need to use their knowledge of plants to help either heal the wounded or distract the second rhinoceros. But the second rhinoceros is closing in fast, its massive frame moving through the tall grasses like a living mountain. The lead hunter, now desperate, runs toward a cliffside where the terrain is rougher, hoping to use it to his advantage. He knows he must get the creature off balance, force it into the rocks, where its sheer size will become its undoing. The others, seeing the leader's move, follow him. They sprint toward the cliff, forcing the rhinoceros to chase them across the uneven ground. The tribe's heartbeat races as the ground becomes more treacherous. The creature's rage is palpable. It can't be stopped by their spears or stones. But it is clumsy on the rough terrain, its heavy legs slipping as it charges, giving the tribe the opening they need. One of the hunters throws a stone directly into the beast's eyes, temporarily blinding it. With a mighty roar, the rhinoceros rears up its legs, buckling beneath it as it stumbles forward. The hunters seize their chance. They rush forward, using the sharp stone-tipped spears to target the beast's vulnerable points, its legs, its ribs. The battle for survival reaches its climax. The rhinoceros, now faltering, lurches toward the cliff's edge. With a final desperate push, it teeters, then falls tumbling off the edge. A deafening crash echoes across the plain as dust and debris scatter into the air. For a moment, there is only silence. The silence hangs heavy over the group, broken only by the sound of labored breaths and the distant calls of birds. The tribe gathers their eyes, scanning the cliff where the rhinoceros fell, the dust still swirling around the jagged rocks below. The victory, though hard-earned, is bittersweet. The tribe has faced their primal adversary, yet they know this battle is just one part of the struggle to survive in a harsh world. The leader, his face smeared with dirt and sweat, looks to the others. They are tired, bruised, but alive. He nods, signaling that they must continue. Their survival depends on the hunt, on the gathering, and on unity. As they move to retrieve the fallen creature, they know the food it provides will sustain them for many days to come. But the memory of this encounter will stay with them forever. The healer kneels to tend to the injured. Her hands are steady as she applies herbal poultices to the wounded, using the very plants she had collected earlier. Her eyes, though calm, carry the weight of knowledge. She knows that in this world life and death are intertwined, and healing is as much about resilience as it is about medicine. She takes a deep breath, her gaze lingering on the horizon where the sun begins to dip below the distant trees. The tribe works together carefully but efficiently. They strip the hide from the rhinoceros, preserving it for clothing and tools, and cut the meat into manageable pieces. The young child who had watched with wide eyes now approaches the fallen beast with tentative curiosity. The adults allow the child to help passing on the knowledge of how to survive in this brutal world. It is through these small acts that the legacy of the tribe continues. As the night falls, the group gathers around the fire. The flames flicker in the cool evening air, casting long shadows on the faces of the tribe. They share a meal in silence, the crackling fire, the only sound that fills the air. The child, now content with food in their belly, rests against their mother, the warmth of the fire providing comfort. In this moment, they are safe. They have survived, but they know the dangers of the world will always be present. Tomorrow, the hunt will begin again and the cycle of life continues.